Welcome to the FITMAMA Podcast, where it's all about gaining your health back as a busy woman and mom, and doing it without sacrificing time with your family or business. Here is your host, mompreneur and FITMAMA health coach, Angela Campbell.
All right, you guys, I'm super excited for today's podcast because I feel like this is a topic we all need to talk about, right? So finding that balance, doing all the things, you guys, work, mom life, dad life, you name it. We're trying to do it all the time, but we're often not doing it very well. And we're often sacrificing our own health to do it all, right? So if you are catching me live right now, do me a huge favor and say hi below. I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. And that everything is working smoothly before I start, because I feel like this is a really powerful topic today. So yay, Charlie, thank you so much for saying hi. Okay, let's roll with it, you guys. Today is episode number 5 of the FITMAMA Podcast. I'm super excited. And like I said, today's topic, I'm going to talk about work, life, health, balance. How in the world do you manage your life? I get this question often is, how do you do it all? And to be honest with you, I've learned it by many errors over the years of how to do it wrong. And I work with a coach myself, to be honest with you, that has been an amazing game changer to help me do this very thing. So definitely, if you're able to watch this as I'm live streaming right now, say hi, let me know that you're here. If balance is something that you struggle with, say balance below. Like drop, comment, and tell me balance, because I find this is a very common thing. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to share a little bit about myself and how I've done it and how I do it, and share with you ways that you can do it too. I promise that you can do it too. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about time management. What does that really even mean? Right? Because that's the number one question I get often is, how do you manage your time? Right? Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm going to share those things today. I've got 5 things that I'm going to share with you that you can purposely focus on to help you find that balance that you desire. Oh my gosh, Lori, thank you so much for your comment just now. If you're watching this or you're listening to this later on the podcast, I want to read Lori's comment because she's so 100% on point. She says, ladies, don't sacrifice your health. Listen to her wisdom. Thank you for that, Lori, right? Lori says, I'm 55 and I wore the mom hat, forgot to take care of me. More than 50 pounds later, I looked in the mirror. Your health is a gift that keeps on giving. Don't ever stop. Lori, thank you so much for sharing that, because this is why I want to talk about this today. So many people, and myself included, last year was the worst year of my taking care of myself. I was trying to do it all, having 2 kids, juggling businesses. I sacrificed myself big time. And I see so many women and moms doing this big time every day, all day long, right? And we don't have to, okay? So I'm going to share all those things, but first, if you're personally tired of failing yourself, you're tired of trying all these things on your own and nothing is working, or maybe something worked for a short period and then it stopped, right? I hear that so many times. But you're super serious about getting your health back on track. Let's set a time to chat. There's so many opportunities out there for you. I would love to just chat with you and maybe see what might be the best fit for you, right? If you're watching this live, there's a link above. Schedule a time just to hop on and we can chat together. Or if you're listening to this podcast later, you can go to my website at acfitmama.com/chat and just set up a time to chat with me. Or just join our group, acfitmama.com. If you're not in our group, there's a big button that says join our community. Get in there, because there's so many women that are just like you, going through the same things, that are willing to wrap their arms around you and help you, right? So if you are in the Fit Mompreneur group, this very group that I'm talking about, I just had an amazing conversation with someone that already expressed how comfortable she feels in there, not judged, and that she's not alone in the struggles. And that's the whole purpose of the group, right? But we also see women in there losing weight, shrinking their belly fat, finding ways to fit it in among all the chaos that we all do and deal with every single day. And the biggest question is, a lot of people ask me, like, how do you do it and how can I do it? There's a way. I promise. In today's episode, we're going to talk about balance and what does that really even mean? What does it look like? How do you find it? And if you're trying to do it all, the number one thing that gets sacrificed is your health. And I'm here to tell you, and Lori already confirmed it in the comment, your health is not worth sacrificing, you guys. Your health, if you don't have your health, why are you working so hard? You know, if you don't have your health to take care of your family, why we're doing something wrong. And this is the biggest message that I want to get out today and through everything that you see me doing from here on out, right? So time management is a thing, but it's also managing your focus. I learned this from one of my mentors, Justin Prince taught me this a long time ago. It's not really about your time because we all have the same 24 hours in the day. It's more about your focus. So I'm going to talk about that today. And these are the things that I work with my women in my, Fit Mompreneur program or FITMAMA program that we talk about this a lot and just in my group, right? So I love helping women and moms, not just moms, but all women get fit while you're raising your family, trying to work your career, trying to grow a business, right? All the things. So I'm going to get into it, but first, really quick, I have to give some women some major shout outs. So if you know these women that I'm about to mention, tag them below, give them a major shout out. They deserve it for a lot of reasons. They're working with me and we're seeing results in all kinds of ways. You guys, this isn't just about weight loss journey, right? So the first two women I want to give a shout out to is just for simply taking the leap to put themselves first again and find time to put their health back on the priority list. So the two most recent amazing women that are putting themselves and their life back on track, Jan Bond, I'm so super excited to work with you. Just getting started. This is week 1. And then Caitlin just got off the phone with her. I'm so stoked. You're such an precious woman that deserves everything in the world that has to offer. So she just hopped on board and I'm super excited to work with you. And then another woman that I want to give a major shout out because I want to spend a little bit extra giving her a shout out because she deserves it. Brandy Hargrove. If you're listening to this right now or you know her, you're listening to this later and you are on live, tag her and give her some hearts and give her some love. Brandy Hargrove, because she deserves it. She's an amazing woman. She's spent many years taking care of everybody else and she's putting herself first and she just reached her biggest, a goal. She's 3 inches off her waist, y'all. We just measured and she's 3 inches off her waist, you guys. And that is huge. We often focus on that stupid number on the scale and it's all these other things that are changing. Not to mention she's changing here, which is what I love the most, is seeing transformations in your mind and getting stronger. Okay. So again, let's get to it, you guys. And again, in today's podcast, I'm here to talk to you about the time management. I want to share with you 5 tips to help you find balance among all the things you're doing. So again, if you're hopping on now and you haven't, if you struggle with finding balance to do it all, put balance in the comments. I would love, if you're watching this live, if you're catching this on the podcast later on a replay, reach out, join our group, acfitmama.com, and just join the big button on the main homepage. It says join our community because it's a struggle, right? And here's one of the first tips. Let's get into it. I know you guys are like, tell me all the secrets, right? And so here's the thing. Okay, one of the first things, and this sounds so simple, but it's really not for many people. To find balance, you have to start first with your why. And you have to find out why do I want to do this, right? And what do I mean by that? Like, we spend so much time and effort on everybody else that we don't spend very much time or effort on ourselves, like at all, right? We sacrifice our health, okay? Put agree below if you're watching this and you totally agree. We put our health on the back burner, always. We take care of everyone else. So what I really want to encourage you first to start with is just finding out, why do you want to get healthy? And I don't mean like because I want to lose weight, right? I want you to dig deeper. And no, I don't want just find out because I want to be healthier for my kids. Like, I want you to get even deeper. The deeper your why is, the deeper your reasoning behind why you want to get healthy, the deeper and the more committed you're going to be to actually stopping sacrificing your health. So find out why. Okay. So like, for example, okay, many people tell me this, and I used to say this very same thing. I want to get healthy for my family. And okay, so what I want to encourage you is to dig deeper. Why? Because I want to be around longer. How about this one? I want to be around longer for my family. Okay. I want to feel confident when I'm out and about in public with my kids. I want to be able to go on walks with my family because my family's always going on walks, but I don't ever go because I can't keep up. Okay. This is a big one. This is a big one. Or how about I want to enjoy my family at the beach. I've heard this from many, many, many women. Actually, this is a big one, and it breaks my heart when I hear it. So I want to bring it up. Like, how about instead of watching your family play at the beach and you're on family vacation, how about you want to actually be participating and playing with them on the beach, right? Like little things like that. You don't want to just watch them. You want to do it. You want to participate. These are things I want you to dig deeper, right? You want to function. How about you don't want to yell at your kids? I know that sounds crazy, but if you're a mom, you know that doesn't really sound that crazy. It's actually a really big thing. If you're sacrificing your health and you're not taking care of yourself, you probably spend days of being a monster mom, right? This is something that I noticed about myself at one point. I was just losing patience. I didn't have the patience because I wasn't working out. I wasn't watching what I was eating. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't resting. You know, I just made a big change in my career and left group fitness. Yesterday was my last day. And it's exciting because of the future, but it's sad because I love my people. But it was at a point where I had to make a decision because I was running my candle way too far on both ends, that I wasn't taking care of myself and I wasn't showing up my best for my family. And that's got to be number one, right? So you want more quality time, right? How about those of you mompreneurs that run businesses? Do you feel like you're putting all your efforts into your family, or to your family, meaning your team, or your business? Sometimes I hear no on this one big time. And sometimes it can be because you're trying to do it all, but you're not taking care of you first. You're taking care of everybody else, right? So this is a big one. This is definitely a big one. So here's number two. So number one is find out your why, but I want to encourage you to go deeper. If you already know your why, any of these things may be resonating with you, what I just told you, drop in the comments if you're watching this on Facebook on one of the lives. Tell me what is your why. What is it that you want to do? Or how about you just don't want to hide from the camera anymore? So you want your family to have memories of you later on down the road. But right now you're hiding from the camera, so they're not going to have any memories of you. These are the things that I want you to think more about when I'm asking you what your why is. That's huge, because when you have a more powerful why, you're going to put your workouts and your nutrition on a lot higher priority and stop sacrificing your health, right? And so that's number one. That's definitely a big one, right? So if you know your why, share below. Even if you know the little bit of your why, and then dig deeper later, right? Here's number two. You got to eliminate distractions. This is a huge one. Distractions. Oh my goodness, you guys, our world is full of distractions, and one of them can be right here on social media, right? Like, hello. And so this is something I'm actually working with my coach. I have a coach, because just like anybody else, I need a coach to guide me and hold me accountable and teach me and reel me back in when I get distracted, right? And so distractions is huge. You have to learn to eliminate distractions. What do I mean by that? It's little things, okay? So sometimes our work and our businesses can become distractions. They're amazing, right? And they're great things that we need to focus on. But again, it can also be a distraction from your health. And this is where we start to sacrifice. So you can actually dive in. Like, this is what my coach has recently had me do. Take a log of your entire day. I mean, every time you get on Facebook and scroll, write it down. Watch how much time that you spend doing things that mean nothing to your world or your life or your health. Watch. It's so powerful. He had me do this, and I was like, oh my goodness, I pick up my phone way too much. Even though I work from my phone and I spend my days on social media helping people, you got to set boundaries and not be on it 24/7, you guys, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up being busy, and you feel like you worked so hard that day, but you didn't get anything done and you didn't get your workout in. This is powerful. You cannot pick up your phone and go into reaction mode and start responding to social media and all your notifications and your messages and all this stuff before you work on yourself. That has been the biggest game changer for me, is logging how much time. And I talk about social media because it's a big one. It is a big one, right? Like, so if you're not, the biggest distractions in the world can be social media. Maybe it's a TV show. If you like to watch a TV show, it's amazing. I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, but don't binge watch. Like set yourself, I get one episode, whatever it is you're watching, right? But I only get that episode after I meal prep my food, after I did my workout, right? If you know you have to work out and you haven't done your workout that day, and you guys, your workout can be walking 15 minutes in your neighborhood. Whatever your activity level is, it doesn't have to spend hours upon hours upon hours to do these little things I'm talking about, right? You have to eliminate distractions. And sometimes, sadly, your distractions could be people. I've eliminated people from my life for different reasons, okay, over my journey. But what happened is I realized some of these people actually brought me down versus lifted me up. And they were a constant distraction in my life and my world that kept me from doing some really powerful things, which to me is helping women, especially in moms, get their health back on the priority list, right? And there was things that I was not doing very well because I had all these distractions. So your phone can be one of them. Your social media is a big one. But you have to figure out, what are you spending time on that you don't need to spend time on? Okay. And for me, a big one was social media. I'm here a lot, yes, but I'm very much more intentional with when I am on and what I'm doing, and staying off the news feed, especially in today's world. Oh my gosh, it can be so negative. If you agree, put negative in the comments if you're watching me live right now, because it is. Or if you're watching this on the replay later, like the negativity is insane, and that is a huge distraction, okay? So if you're not a morning person, I encourage you to, I'm not saying you have to get up at crazy early hours, but ideally do what you need to do for yourself and your health, whether that be your workout. Maybe that's meditation, maybe that's praying, maybe that's meal prepping your food for the day. Whatever it is for you. Maybe it's your me time. I did a challenge in my group a couple weeks ago where 15 minutes of me time was all I asked for people to do. And they're still doing it. And most of the time, that me time ended up being drinking their coffee on the back porch in the quiet before the world and the house woke up. Moms, that's huge. You have to have your me time or you're going to lose your sanity. And you're going to be the monster mom, right? So eliminating distractions is huge, but you got to figure out what that is to you. What is your distraction? So if you have no clue and you're like, I'm not really even sure what that means or what my distractions is, take a day, maybe even two, and just have a notebook with you and write down every little bitty thing you're doing, and how many times you log on social media, how many times you pick up your phone to look at your messages, how many times you go look at your post on social media to see how many likes and loves and comments you got. Guys, this is a big one, especially for those of us that work our businesses online. You can't do that. That is a distraction that's going to keep you from being present for your family and your kids, or present for yourself. Yes, Katie, thank you. The truth bomb, but it's a real one. And it's a real one. Then these are things that I've learned from doing it. So I'm speaking from experience, and I still have days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I spent way too much on my phone today. And forget about it. We're multitasking women. That is what we do. But if you have this in your phone and you're trying to play with your kids and you're trying to work your business and you're trying to do this and trying to do that, you end up being so distracted. You didn't do any of those things well, right? So you got to be intentional and eliminate distractions, which goes to number 3. Here's number 3 is saying no. I've talked about this a lot on either podcasts or just lives or just with people. No is such a hard thing to say. And I joke about this, but I'm so serious. My husband used to tell me to practice. It was so silly, but it was so true. You say, do me a favor and practice saying no. And I was like, why? That's crazy. Quit. Just leave me alone, right? But no, like if you have a hard time saying no to people, because people are always going to ask you to do for them. Okay, but especially if you're that yes person, but here's what happens. You're probably giving away a lot of your time to other things and other people that do not serve you and do not serve your family. So you have to learn to say no. Okay, you have to learn to say no. So if this is something you struggle with right now and you're watching either on the replay or live, comment the word no with a whole bunch of O's in the comments. And I want you to practice with me, because guys, if you start saying no, you will free up some time that you may not realize that you had. You have to learn to say no to serving things or people or things out there that maybe you're doing too much of it. You're doing things for other people, and the more you do and do and do, the more these people are going to ask you because they know that you're going to say yes. Guys, this has happened to me. I can't tell you how many times. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm doing all this for everyone else, but it didn't serve my team. It didn't serve my family. It didn't serve me. And then I wasn't getting any workouts in. Y'all, this is so big. So you have to learn to say no. Thank you, Katie. I love it. Yeah, say no in the comments how many times that you feel like you need to say no. You guys, you got to learn this. So number 4 is all about communicating your boundaries. These are boundaries that you have to set upon yourself. Some of the biggest boundaries you can set upon yourself are when you're going to set your phone down and be done for the day. This is a big one. This is what I still struggle with, because I know so many people out there. If I know people are in my inbox, I'm like, I got to respond to them. No, you guys, it's okay. Your family deserves you. So you have to set yourself boundaries and communicate them. Okay, so if you run a business online, like a lot of us do, communicate them. I know some of the top leaders and influencers that I work with, or that I pick their brains, and we work together a lot on different things. Some of the biggest things that they do is their team knows between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. that is family time. So your phone is put up and they don't bug you. Like these are things that I mean as far as boundaries. You have to communicate your boundaries, set them, okay, and then communicate your boundaries. Like Sundays is a really big one for me. Like I don't pick my phone up. I plug it in a different room. I don't pick it up. I throw it in my purse for church, just so, because I don't want to like to leave the home without it, but I don't pick it up, and I don't look, and I don't do anything until like after 1 o'clock, after church is done. We've had lunch, we've had family time, we've done, a lot of things. I'll check it, but I'm still very, very, very limited on Sundays, because that's our day to refuel and do family things, right? So you have to set boundaries for yourself. Maybe here's another boundary. This is one that I've really been working hard, especially on the business side. Is knowing your boundaries, meaning what is it that you have to do every single day to be the best version of you? And what I want you to really dig deep is find out, what is that for your health? Maybe that's your workout. Maybe that's your meal prepping. Maybe you meditate. Maybe you pray. Maybe you read. Maybe you use personal development. Maybe you just have that 15 minutes of quiet time. These are boundaries that I mean. These are non-negotiables, things that you have to do every single day to show up to be the very best that you know that you can be. Okay, and communicate those. If these are something that's super powerful, important, communicate those with your family. Communicate those with your kids. Say, yep, this is mommy's me time. What I need you to do a huge favor and go play. I'll come get you in 15 minutes when mommy's done, and then we'll play and do whatever you want. Right? It's all about communication, communicating with them, your kids, your family, your team, your boss. Say no to your boss if they're constantly asking to do more and more and more and more and more. They will, as long as you keep saying yes. Right? So communicate your boundaries, stick to time blocks, block your time in for your activity or your workout. You have to. And then non-negotiable. Sorry guys, I got to get this done. If you can get it in before your whole day starts, not everybody's a morning person. Some people really enjoy actually doing it in the evening. Awesome. I work better in the morning. If I get up, I have to get my workout in. I get my me time in. I get my prayer time in. And then I'll start looking at work if the kids aren't up, or if they are up, then it goes to mommy time and then work later. Okay, so you got to figure out what works for you, but communicate them. So balance includes so many things, you guys. This is so freaking important. You have to find balance. I've heard so many people say, no, balance doesn't really exist. And I used to say that actually, and it does, but it looks different for everybody. Think of a kid learning to ride a bike. I heard this as an analogy from Brendan Burchard earlier. As I was listening to some of my personal development, I'm like, oh, that's a good analogy. I'm going to use it. Think about your kids, or you as a kid, as they're trying to learn to ride a bike. Right? So this is what balance in your life looks like. Think about them trying to get out on the bike, and they're just like all over the place, and it looks really sloppy and it's really bad, but they keep doing it and keep practicing, and then they get better, but they still fall. And then next thing you know, they're going, and they're just amazing at riding their bike. This is what your life, this is what your life looks like in the balance mode. Okay, it takes time. Don't give up. The worst thing you can do is give up and say, you know what, balance doesn't exist. I can't do this. The worst thing you can do. Expect it to suck. Expect it to look sloppy for a while. I am just now really truly feeling like I'm getting the real balance, and I've got some work to still do with all the things I do. So it takes time. So you're balanced, but you have to do it all. You have to focus on. You got to get your rest. You got to sleep. You got to find your me time, whether that's meditation, reading, praying, your quiet time, whatever that is. And then make sure that you get time for some sort of fitness, whether that's walking or maybe it's doing a full-blown workout, and nutrition. So many things about your life and how you feel and how you respond to your kids and the patience you have and the mental focus that you need for your business. So many of that can be fixed and replaced or helped with simple nutrition and fitness tweaks and changes. These are the things that I work with the women in my Fit Mama program with. We do all this stuff together. So tell me below, if you're watching this live or later on a replay, tell me below, like, what is the biggest thing that I may have just mentioned that just like, oh my gosh, that is so me. What resonates with you? Tell me below, and tell me what are your biggest struggles for sure. And again, you know, if you're tired of failing, you're tired of trying to do this all by yourself, and you're like, nothing's working, either get in my inbox, connect with me on social media, and let's set up a time to chat. You know, even if we can just hop on a quick call real quick and just talk about what your journey is, what your struggles, and maybe what options are out there for you. Or set up a time, my link is above. You can set up a full chat. We can spend some time digging deep and figure out where your problem is. Or if you're watching this on the podcast later, it's acfitmama.com/chat. And let's set up a time just to chat, right? Or join my group. If you're not in there yet, you can either click the link above if you're watching me on Facebook, or you can, if you're on the podcast, again, it's www.acfitmama.com. It's on the homepage. So join us so that you can see these other women in my group as well that are making it happen, or wrapping their arms around those that need their arms wrapped around each other. That's what this is about, right? So again, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching this live, I'm so excited for so many amazing things to come, and for seeing more of you guys learn ways to put yourself back on the priority list. It's so, so important, because always remember this, you know, you don't have to sacrifice your health to be a mom. You don't have to sacrifice your health to be successful in your business. You don't have to sacrifice your health, to keep the house clean. You don't have to sacrifice your health to do good at your job. You just have to put your health on the priority list and fit it in, and make that your non-negotiable that you have to do every single day. And watch how much better you perform as a mom, as a wife. The house may be even cleaner if that's something that drives you crazy, or you're going to be a lot more pleasurable person to maybe be around at work, and you may be even performing better there too. So you guys, I hope you all got value from today's podcast. Love to hear from you. Share below, what is your biggest takeaways? And we're doing this every Thursday, a new podcast. So subscribe, join us, and I will see you on the next one. Y'all have an amazing day.